Hi there, YouTube, and hi there, Facebook. I hope wherever you are in the world that you are safe and you are well. And I'm very, very happy to jump on and to speak to you today about what psychic blocks are and what you can do about them. This is a massive issue. So, first of all, I want to tell you what I class as a psychic block. I don't class being a beginner as being a psychic block because we've all been beginners, still are beginners in many things. A psychic block where there is something within your energy field that is preventing you from accessing the awareness you have. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the most common blocks. So you do get what we call mental blocks. I'm going to touch on those briefly. So a mental block may be to do with how you think it will be when your psychic abilities are working, and it can be a fear of seeing something that you don't want to see. So a mental block is something that you can address, and that's great. Then what we're talking about is we're talking about energy blocks. So these are blocks that will not disappear just because you know what they are. It's a bit like having a washing machine that leaks. If your washing machine leaks, the fact that you know where it's leaking doesn't mean it's going to stop leaking unless you get it fixed. Okay, so the same it is with energy blocks that are within your system that are blocking you from accessing the awareness you really have, but it's covered over right now. So the first type of block is where you've taken in thought forms and feelings from other people. Now, these things usually come in through an existing line of energy, which is called a soul contract. So we obviously have soul contracts with family and friends, with our employers, with our animals. But you can also have soul contracts with clients. And I know many of you that look at my work are healers and practitioners. So you can have what we call unnecessary client contracts. You can have unnecessary healing contracts, unnecessary spiritual teaching contracts, and what we call cathedral of soul contracts. So these are all contracts that are not benefiting you in any way. And it may be that you are relying on these people for your validation or for your income. So you don't just want to cast them off. This could be people that you work with. But what it does when you have unnecessary soul contracts, it makes you responsible for either healing them, healing things that you cannot heal, or telling them things that in truth you cannot tell them. So I see this with a lot of psychics, that there is a pressure on them to tell the client what the client thinks they're paying to hear. And of course, a genuine psychic can't do that. So those energy blocks are really best removed by yourself. You really need to examine who is taking your energy, and you cut the negative energy cords and you request that the relevant soul contracts are ended. Now, the effect that that can have is that these people fall away from you. But when that happens, they were only with you because they wanted something that you had. And within a few weeks and months, new clients, new people will actually take their place. So the next energy block that can damage your psychic abilities is what we call psychic energy wax. So psychic energy wax is actually hurled at you by people that don't want you to either know much about them, see who they really are, or know how it is they really feel. And energy wax, when it comes in, goes straight over your third eye, and it goes straight over your mind. So, what actually happens with energy wax, you find yourself locked into a dynamic that you can't move forward, because every time you try to clear yourself on the astral realms, they're not doing this on purpose, they throw more energy at you. So, the most usual suspects for this are people that have an addiction, and they think if you realize that they have an addiction, you may force them to stop. You might put your foot down. It can also be people that have no intention of growing, maybe people that have got no intention of committing to you, or people that are lying to themselves and you, and at whatever level, they don't want you to see them. So that energy wax, when it's there, and usually it's coming from your major relationship, okay? And it can come from adult children as well that are up to no good. And it will block your clairvoyance completely. Okay, so the next energy block that we have that you will not be able to get rid of just because you know about it is what we call earthbound spirits and astral plane entities. So you get ghosts, right, who either don't know they're dead or they don't want to cross over, right? They do not venture outside of the landscape that they inhabited when they died. And if you're psychic, they will cling on to you because they want attention. And the effect that the earthbound spirits have is they screw up all your psychic abilities. They can also cause paranoia, they can cause relationship splits, and in very, very extreme cases, they can cause physical illness as well. And it's not your fault if you pick up an earthbound spirit or an entity. If you work in a place where people die or people are sick, you are bound to pick them up. And the way that you know you have them is if you start to doubt yourself a lot more. If you do have a certain behavior that is bad for you and the desire to indulge in it gets really, really bad, such as alcohol or stimulants in whatever way, then that can be a sign that you've picked up an attachment. And if you feel much, much more angry and much, much more irritated than normal, and at the same time, if you feel really, really exhausted, and no matter what you do, you cannot stop feeling exhausted, all of those are signs that you've got an attachment, such as an earthbound spirit and an astral plane being, and it will screw your psychic abilities up. And the final attachment that I want to talk about is something called extra minds and extra souls. And this is where somebody is literally sending you the way that they want you to live your life. And it's coming in through the crown and the back of the heart. So this may well be somebody that stands to lose out if you grow. Okay, so this could be an employer, this could be a family member, this can be a spouse. And it's usually when they want to keep you where you are. And the reason it's more damaging than just a negative energy cord is it's literally going to reinforce any beliefs that you have that you're not good enough, or that you're not worthy, or that you're not psychic, or that you're making it up, or that you'll fail if you do something new, or you can't take a risk, or what will you lose if you rock the boat? Okay, so that is to me one of the most damaging. So if you feel that you have any of those psychic blocks, like I said, using the analogy of the washing machine, so knowing that your washing machine is broken doesn't fix it, it's still going to leak. So when you know you've got a psychic block, you need to do something about it. Now, most of those, the individual is not going to be able to deal with. So you would need to come on to someone like myself. Things like sea salt baths, being in nature, using sage really help to prevent them. But if you really feel that there is a cycle for whatever reason, like you're just not attracting any clients, or you're just not attracting any visibility, or you're just not able to get a job, or you're just not able to get your energy back, you probably need someone to give you a bit of an aura clearing, and just to help you to get back on track. And that is something that I do. I do what we call psychic surgery, and I do that for relationships, money, business, health, and psychic abilities as well. And you can find out all about those over at my website. I also have a PDF that I'm making available to anybody that would like to know more about psychic blocks. You just message me and I will happily give that to you. For now, I'm hoping you have a wonderful afternoon. We have glorious sunshine. And if you enjoyed this, please would you like and share and subscribe? We love you very much, and goodbye for now.